Good morning, good morning. I'm going to start doing my sharing thing and we'll get Josh on here shortly. I know I'm crooked, so just bear with me here. As always, just bear with me. All right. We are going to have a great conversation with Josh. It's going to be awesome. You guys have your questions ready. Make sure you ask lots of questions. Hey Steve, how are you? Steve, I'm going to message you because I think we need to make a date with you to come on here. What do you think about that? Josh McCoy, and I'll make sure I tagged the right Josh. Yesterday I was tagging Josh Cotner. He's coming on too, but not today. All right, let me just... And we are attending a conversation with Josh McCoy. There's Josh Cotner. How's Nashville, Josh? Couldn't have you on here today. You're in Nashville. You're probably out doing something amazing. Let me just share this in worldwide and then I will be back with my face there. Okay. Okay, Josh McCoy, make sure you're on the live on the page of Coffee with Carla. So don't like my shared post. You got to come over to a Coffee with Carla and then we'll go from there. Good morning. And I'm getting the right Josh on here. Hey Blair, how are you? Hey Anthony. How's everybody doing? There he is. I'm gonna bring you on, Mr. McCoy. Let me get you invited here. Uh-oh. Can you make sure that Josh McCoy, can you make sure that you've liked a Coffee with Carla's page? And then we will go from there. We'll get you on here, don't worry. Good morning, everybody. We're just getting started here and set up, so we'll get Josh on here. Okay, I'm going to shut this down so I can focus. Okay, let's try you again, Josh. Josh McCoy, where are you? Hang on, guys. Chris, how are you? George, good morning. Okay, come on. Kerwin, nice to see you. Dave, how are you? There he is. We're getting him on here. It just always takes a minute. You guys are always so awesome and patient. Thank you for that. So, there he is.
Does that work?
There. How are you, Josh?
Good morning. I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good.
I'm not talking too loud, am I?
Nope.
I feel like it's very loud.
You're perfect. You're perfect.
Good. You have your coffee?
I've got my coffee. What are you having?
I have honest tea, green tea.
Oh,
my favorite
very
drink.
nice. Very nice. So why don't you introduce yourself? There's a few people on here, so why don't you tell everybody who you are?
Hello, Spray Foam Worldwide. Josh McCoy, owner-operator of McCoy Foam, spray foam insulation and concrete lifting. We've been in business a little over 3.5 years now. Well, it was 3 years in May, so don't know what else to say other than...
Where are you located?
Live in North Mississippi. Okay. I know everyone's heard of Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. He was born in Tupelo, Mississippi, so that's where I tell people we're from. Just a little community north of there. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you've been in business for 3 years. What made you start?
Yes, ma'am.
What made you go into this business?
Well, we built our home. We call it our forever home about 6 or 7 years ago. Uh, I was working at Toyota manufacturing then, where they produced the Corolla. Um, One of my friends there, he said, I tell you what, you need to think about using spray foam insulation in your house. So I started doing some research, and one thing led to another. We have a full envelope of open cell foam in our home. We love the benefits of it. And actually, the man who insulated our home 2 years later, he was doing a retro for my mother, uh, and pulled in to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing led to another, and put all my eggs in one basket. My wife and I decided that I'd go to work for myself. Swing shift at Toyota was make an old man out of a young man quick. 2 weeks of days, and then you swing 2 weeks of nights, and that's the way it is. We found out we were expecting our first child, our daughter, and that just made me want to get off that swing even more.
Mm-hmm.
So looking for something, and I even in between Toyota and me owning my own business, I worked for FedEx Express
Oh, okay.
for a year, and they'll starve you.
Yeah.
Needless to say, working part time, but yeah, no regrets. It's scary at times, and it still is,
Mm-hmm.
but I love it, and spray foam is my life.
How many, is it just, are you just a solo show, or do you have, how many people work for you?
I have Alex Wesson. He's
Mm-hmm.
pretty active in the group. He's been working with me for over let's see, be about 2.5 years. I was about 6 or 7 months in by myself, and then he messaged me, and we went to high school together, and we connected
Oh,
back
okay.
up.
Yeah.
Um, and I would stop in and see him from time to time. He used to own a car lot, used car lot here in town, and he texted me one day. I put an ad on Facebook or in my page or something about needing some work, and he texted me and said, "Hey man, what are the details?" And went from there. He's been working with me for 2.5 years. So great guy, very loyal, and I could ask him to flip the house over, and I think he'd break his back trying. So,
That's a good person
and
to have
then
on your team.
it is, and you don't have to worry about if they're gonna show up to work or not. I mean, I can depend on him to be here. He's a former Marine. Um,
Mm.
hang on. Okay, well,
Josh is
okay, we'll go to the
Josh
bathroom.
is just so everybody that's watching knows Josh is home with his kids. So they may make an
Yeah,
appearance. And I said, that's perfect. We want to see your
I don't
kids.
know if y'all heard him or not, but yeah, my wife, she never has to work on Saturdays, but unfortunately had to work this
Yeah.
Saturday. So I'm here with our 4-year-old daughter, Maylee, and our 2-year-old son, Lathan.
Yeah, you've got two
Um,
kids, right?
correct,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
And back to the, uh, have a part, well, I say part-time. He'd work 40 hours if we needed him to. He just graduated high school. He helped us last summer, and it's actually Alex's nephew by marriage. He helped us last year and hired him again this summer, and he goes to college, so he's going to be working 3 days a week with us when
Oh,
school starts here in
great.
the next few weeks. But he's young and learning, and we're going to try to teach him a thing or two.
Yeah,
He run the turbo cuts yesterday for the first time, so he
right.
got a good dose of how it is in the foam industry. Just
Right.
that one little minor task.
Yeah. So when you decided to start, what was the first step you took? Did you go and take like the training that everybody, like, did you get 3 days of training and then start your business?
I I got the 3 days of training, and I was like, "What have I done?" I was scared to death.
Mhm.
they talked about the pressure balance, pressure imbalances, all this stuff, and I'm like, shoo, over my head.
Yeah.
I've messed up. I've wasted all this money. But Demilec, I don't know if I can mention names. I don't mind.
Yeah, you
Demilec
can
is where I
mention
went
names.
I went to get my training at Demilec in Arlington.
Mm-hmm.
Drove out there, did the 3-day training, enjoyed it. Yes, I was scared, nervous, but I stayed the course, kept my nose to the grindstone, and while we're at it, I don't want to jump ahead. I want to try to stay with your
Mm-hmm.
itinerary, but
No, it's
3 months.
wide open, so you just jump all over if you
All
want.
right,
It's all good.
sure. Uh, 3 months in,
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing my first job. I say 3 months. Yeah, 3 months in, I'm doing my first job. Okay. Yeah. Well, y'all hang on one second.
Yeah,
He is went to the restroom. Give me just a minute.
yeah, you go ahead.
Hang on, buddy.
We'll chat amongst ourselves. So you guys make sure you have some questions for Josh, and if we don't get to them through when we're talking, you guys make sure you just put them in the comments, and we'll get to them afterwards. But by all means, ask a lot of questions. And I see there's a number of people on here. So how are we doing? See, this is why a coffee with Carla, it's just free flow. We just go with the flow. Ben, now you can see what's going on. It's not scripted. It is what it is. So Ben, you and I are talking. We got to set a date on that. So, and actually Steve, Jewel, you and I are also going to chat about getting you on here. So we all know how it is. The ones of us that have kids, they're the boss. They're in charge. There we go. I know
Okay, sorry about that.
it's all good. Before we continue with
We are potty trained up, so.
very good. Before we go back to what you were saying, there's many questions about your beard. And how do you keep foam out of your beard?
Well, I wear a Tyvek head sock with a mask. So and we use a Tennessee chill box now. I've always used Fresh Air. I've never been a fan of the cartridges for myself personally. Um, so I've always had a forced air and never had a problem.
Mm-hmm.
They did tell me whenever I was got a fit test at Demilec, you will need to shave your beard, but it doesn't get much longer than this. It's been longer than this, but
Yeah.
I've never had a problem, but I might have a problem, down the road, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So going back to, you were saying 3 months, when you were 3 months in.
3 months in, yes, I was doing my first job by myself. The man who sold me the business, he actually still sends me work to this day, but he had been helping me, and then I at some point you've got to cut the strings.
Yeah.
So I was doing a job by myself and gun crossing over. All the guys know, everyone who sprays foam knows that you're gonna have gun trouble,
Mm-hmm.
and most of the time that's what the problem is. But I was ready to give up, and I don't give up. I don't quit, but I was ready to. I was ready to put a for sale sign on this thing and be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
I went on Facebook and typed in spray foam. I was looking for any help, and Spray Foam Worldwide popped up, and this was
That would be in the beginning,
the
right?
yeah, in 16 that they were,
Yeah.
they had Bill and the guys had just created a group maybe 3 or 6 months prior to that. I'm not real sure.
Right.
I joined, and wow, I mean it saved me and kept me in the business.
Right.
Still helps me to this day because I'm very young in the business, and I'm very humbled.
Mm-hmm.
There, I look up to a lot of people.
Right.
Met a lot of great people at both conventions I've been to, but so yeah, 3 months in, I was throwing my hands up, and it was all because of the gun.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it, yeah. And
Yeah, it's
You
that.
got Spray Foam Worldwide to thank for a lot.
Right. And I always say, and I probably say this in almost every conversation we have, is Spray Foam Worldwide is like going to school without having to go to school. It's that community and thing that, like, it's so unique to every industry. There isn't another thing out there like it. So especially for you
Oh, of
guys,
course not.
start, like, when you're starting out, like, if you didn't have that group, what would you do? Where would you go? And have people just like
I
willing to help, right?
I honestly believe that I would have already sold my business, or my rig would be locked up, A side locked up, because I wouldn't have known what to do. And
Mm-hmm.
not to take anything away from Demilec,
Mm-hmm.
because I talked to a couple of guys that were good about answering the phone, and I didn't understand then, but I understand now that you know it's not like Bewitched, and they just I can just wiggle my nose and a tech rep pop
Right.
up to help me
Yeah.
ascertain my problems. But they helped me a lot, and um, on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
which was a plus. So y'all go in there, go back in there and watch TV. Um, but yeah, Spray Foam Worldwide is we're a force to be reckoned with, to say the least. I mean,
Right.
there's some great things coming up, and some great things have already happened, as everyone knows. But it's a great group, best group on Facebook. That's between Spray Foam Worldwide and my business page. It's
Mm-hmm.
probably why I'm still on social media. Those
Right.
two reasons
Yep.
mainly. I mean, really.
You can't go somewhere and just say and plunk in, like, I'm having a problem with this such and such, whatever it is. And you get, like, 30 people respond. Have you tried this? Did you do this? You're not going to find that anywhere. You just are not.
No,
Yeah. So what would
and
you,
it can be.
yep.
It's a matter of fact. I mean, you put a post on Facebook, and you're going to get 50 answers
Yeah.
just like that. I mean,
Right.
it can be overwhelming at times. You've got to take time to read through each one, but
Yeah.
yes,
Right.
it's great.
Yeah, for sure. So what would you say to somebody who is starting out? What would be your advice as a new into the industry? What would you tell them? Because there's going to be people on here watching that think they want to start their business, you know, or are just started. So what would you tell them? Because you're fairly new. So
Uh, if they're thinking about getting into business, just don't. Just let us handle it. Just run. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. No, I said that right when you got a drink of
you
coffee. I'm
did.
sorry. uh, but seriously, I would, look at, again, this is coming from someone that's only been in the industry for 3 years, three and a
Mm-hmm.
half years, but weigh out all your options. Look at the get trained for sure,
Mm-hmm.
and more than 3 days.
Yeah.
Need more than just 3 days of in class. Look at working with someone, and so be it. If you want to be a owner operator, a sole proprietor of business, that's great. That's what makes America great. But you know, if you're in the industry already and you're thinking about getting in to business by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
know what you're doing first, and take any and all advice. If you adhere to it, that's your choice.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, go. Yeah, you did. You go in there and watch the Beast, okay? They love watching Beauty and the Beast. I
Oh,
tried to make sure they
yes.
had food and drinks and everything.
You got them set up.
Yeah, tried to,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just try for a new and for a new and up and coming, owner operator, sole
Mm-hmm.
proprietor. Um, it's hard to get all your ducks in a row because you really don't know what to expect.
Right.
But seek any and all advice for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Try to get in touch with someone that's been in the business, and they can help you if they're willing to help. And that would be my advice for
Right.
sure.
And what would you say would be the biggest challenge you have as owning your own business? What is the number one, outside of the training and that stuff, when you're actually hands on running your own business, what is the biggest challenge?
Uh, Making sure, keeping work lined up, because you want your hands, you've got these guys, even if you've got one person or 10 people working for you, um, I think about them and their family because they
Right.
work with and for me. You know, it's my job to keep them a paycheck coming in,
Right.
if they're going to work for me. So that's the biggest challenge to me. And it might not be a challenge, but well, it's a challenge, but I worry about it because I want to keep work lined up and keep building that pipeline. So, so Alex and Robert, they don't have to worry about a paycheck. They come to work, you know, do their work, learn as much as they can, and they're going to get a paycheck at the end of the week. And that's a good thing about, we've stayed busy. We've been blessed for 3.5 years, but a lot of people know this business is feast or famine,
Right.
somewhat. But we've been blessed, and Alex has hung in there with me. There's been some times where we've been 2 or 3 weeks without a job, but that's the biggest challenge is
Right.
keeping work lined up because everybody wants foam, but not everybody can afford it.
Right.
And if I got all the jobs that I bid, I'd be debt free.
Right.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
But
Is your down
that's the biggest challenge.
what season for you is the like when would be your slow time? Like, is it a
Uh,
specific time of the year, or is it kind of like it comes and goes?
it comes and goes.
Okay.
Just like the first year in business. Of course, I was, trying to get my feet wet, and started in May. And I brought the rig home. I had spent all this money, and I had to just run my rig to circulate material. I went almost a month without any work. Um, but it depends. Right there at the first of the year, people are getting their tax money back. They're wanting to maybe go ahead and pull the trigger on an existing attic or something. But towards the end of the year, we were busier the end of 18 than we were 17. So to hit, back to your original question, it comes and goes.
Right.
I don't think I've been in business long enough to really pinpoint when I'm the busiest,
Right.
but we just try to be prepared and take the good with the bad.
Yeah. So when you were starting out, how did you get your name out there? What did you do so people knew who you were?
Um, First and foremost, the jobs that I did get believe in good quality work, and I still tell customers to this day, now we're gonna insulate your home like I'm moving my family in here to live. I'm paying the bills.
Right.
So good word of mouth, first and foremost, and social media. I mean, I hit Facebook up. I spent money pushing and advertising, and like I said, the gentleman who sold me his company, we're great friends. He still sends me work, but he had done it for 6 years. So he was still getting phone calls, and he still gets phone calls. He sent me a lot of work, but
Right.
social media was, and Facebook to pinpoint that was
Yeah.
my biggest form of advertisement, and still is for the most part. I have a website now, and that helps. But I got suckered into HomeAdvisor. Uh,
Yeah.
I got some jobs from them, but I no longer use that path, but it helped me some, but not as much as I would have liked it to. But social media was my biggest push.
Yeah. The thing about HomeAdvisor is
Yeah,
there's a way to look at HomeAdvisor as a different way, that it's not necessarily, because we all know that they are annoying. The leads aren't that quality. It is, we all know that about HomeAdvisor. There is a benefit to being on HomeAdvisor though. and it's not necessarily all about the leads and that, but it gets you, because your link is on there, that's helping you
Mm-hmm.
get seen.
Exposure. Right.
Yes, because they're so huge. But we all know how annoying
Mm-hmm.
they are and how awful they are. We all know, but there
Yeah.
is that benefit behind the scenes to it. But yeah, and you do your social media very well. You really, really do.
You've helped me. You've helped me. I think I was trying to get a video as my cover
Oh
photo
yes,
or cover video,
oh
and
yeah,
you helped me
right.
out with that.
I
What,
forgot about that. Yeah, we
6 months
did.
ago, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. But you do your social media well. And I think a lot of people maybe, because I've talked to a number of people recently who are like, they're in kind of a lull of, they're kind of almost at that point. Do they want to pack it in? Do they want to keep going? They don't know what to do. They think, they've tried everything, and it's like, okay, well, let's look at this in a different way. Like, are you doing this? And, there's different things to do. And I guess it depends too where you live. But in smaller centers, you can do different things than in cities and that type of thing. But yeah. And I mean, it's helpful that you had him to be able to do that too, that he's, getting phone
Right.
calls but do you do a lot of,
Well, and
do you go
I'm sorry.
to,
Go ahead.
yeah, do you work a lot with like builders in your area, or not really?
Um, 4 or 5, maybe not 5. Three for sure, maybe 4 builders that I do all their foam. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I just picked up one we did here a couple of weeks ago. He was using another company, and they were traveling a good bit away. And he told me, he said, we really like your work, and that was the first house that we had taped the studs on. He
Mm-hmm.
said, I've never seen any company take the time to prep like this. And I said, well, this is the first time we've done this. But he was pleased with the job, to say the least. He said, I've got 2 custom builds coming up. The customers do want foam. We'll be calling you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to assume I get those jobs, but yes, I do work with. I do. There are 3 or 4 builders that I do all their foam work for.
Right.
Um, and that's a plus.
Mm-hmm.
If they tell you they're building a big custom home, you're looking forward to that.
Right.
Um, but and just to step back 1 second, what you said, where depends on where you're located, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. We're down here in the South in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of places, or a lot of customers we talk to, yeah, well, the foam it's just so new. It hadn't been around long, and well, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, it's been around for 40 years, but just like Mississippi, and I live here, I love the state, but we're last in a lot of stuff. And I
Mm.
don't care to say it, but that's just the cold hard fact. But it's been to educate the customer
Right.
on the benefits, the foam, and because
Right.
there's so much bad out there, pros and cons. I mean, anybody can get on YouTube, and the first video is the horrors of spray foam.
Right.
And we've had some blitzes, spray foam worldwide. Created videos, and
Mm-hmm.
you know Robert's done great with that. The whole group has,
Mm-hmm.
but the horror stories outweigh the positives of foam
Right.
on the internet.
Yep.
And I think it's our job as owner operators, as installers, to educate the customer and put them at ease, put their mind at ease, and,
Right.
and maybe get them from riding the fence to, okay, yeah, we're going to go with foam.
Yeah.
Just last night, I was talking to a couple, and they were worried that, well, I've heard rumors that it stresses the HVAC. Well, okay, you've heard rumors. If you've got the wrong HVAC, well, then yes, very well could, but
Mm-hmm.
it's then you can get out into the technical side of it, but I think it's our job also. And back to what you said earlier, and a new person going into business for themselves,
Mm-hmm.
to get educated on it and try to learn as much as you can. But for us to educate the customer so that we can win that job, I think is
Right.
very important also.
And that's kind of what, when I talk to people, you know, if we're doing stuff about marketing in their Facebook page and whatever, that's really what I always say is, you know, you need to mix your work in with your education, because the general public, like you're saying, and somebody commented on here that that bad thing was from CBC, which is the Canadian Broadcasting Company or whatever. And that is right. It was done on a show called, it was kind of like a, not like Dateline, but it was one of those, you know, news kind of hour-long shows that they do pieces on, and it was horrible. It was horrible for spray foam, and that's what's out there. And so now we have to come in and educate people, because people are drawn to the drama, of course. They want the like they like the
Oh
negative.
yeah.
But it's about really educating them and about making sure that they understand that, you know what, this is going to be, like you're saying, if I was going to move into this house, this is what I would want for my family. And making sure
Right.
that they're comfortable and knowing that you guys care about their family. Like, it's not just, you're not just going in to spray their house and like, we're out of here. Like, you legitimately care, you know. And I know there are people out there that they're going in just to spray the house and that's the deal. But for the most part, I think a majority of people are doing it because they do care. They want to make a difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm one of those. Yes. I like to get paid, and I do it for the money, but that's not the only reason I do it for.
Right.
So people like drama.
Yeah,
So
they
they're always
do.
going to be. They always want to point out the negatives first before they point out the good. That's
That's
just
right.
human nature, sadly.
That's right. So what is it? Here's what I'm curious about too, is you are new to owning your business and you have a super young family. How do you do all of that? How does that work?
My wife is the bomb. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
she she works 45, sometimes 50 hours a week, and she still comes home and works as a mother.
Mm-hmm.
It's a joint effort. And I'd be lying if I give her all the credit or I give myself all the credit. So we're wide open every day. I
Yeah.
get up and leave most of the time, 5:30 every morning. So my wife, it's depending on her to get the kids to daycare, and she has to be at work by 8. So from whenever we open our eyes till we're getting home, getting the kids bathed and ready for supper, bathed, ready for bed by 8:30. It's not long after that I'm ready to go to sleep. We
Right.
get a full day in, so
Yeah.
um, wide open every day. Yeah,
Yeah.
both of us.
Do you take, are you able to take specific time off? Like, do you take, like, let's say Sunday, you know, for family day? Or is it just,
No, baby, y'all go back in there. Daddy's on the phone, okay? Go in there and watch the beast. You want to come say hello? All right, come here and say hey.
yes.
She doesn't have a shirt on, but that's all right. Say hello.
Hi.
You
How are
want to say hey to
you?
Miss Carla?
Hi. How are you? Are you watching Beauty and the Beast?
Say yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Who is your
All right,
favorite on
let brother
Beauty and the
say hello.
Beast?
You like do you like Bella or Belle?
Is Belle your favorite?
Belle.
Oh, she's pretty, isn't she? Yeah.
Come here. All right, you want to say hey?
Hey.
Hi. How are you?
I like Belle.
You like
He
Belle
likes Belle too,
too?
is what he
Well,
said. I like
yeah,
Belle.
she's awesome.
Wave bye to him. Say bye bye.
Bye.
All
Bye.
right, y'all go back in there and watch TV, okay? Daddy be done in just a little while. Y'all going back in there.
They are so
All right. Well,
cute.
maybe that. Thank you. Thank you.
That curly hair,
So I
holy
missed that.
smokes.
Yeah, he gets that. He gets it on. It's about time for me a haircut. But
Yeah.
go on back in there, son. Okay. Close the door. I missed that last question. I'm sorry. She
Um,
was saying something.
what was I saying? It was, oh, I was saying, because I know a lot of people will work 7 days a week. They don't have time to take off because they're so busy. Do you have do you say, okay, Sunday's family day, or how do you work that?
I went to work for myself. The one year I worked for FedEx part time, I
Mm-hmm.
had to work every Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a, a a big reason, well, I shouldn't say that's the only reason, but a big plus I went to work for myself is I don't, so I don't have to work on the weekends.
Right.
Yes, we have worked on the weekends, and if we had to next weekend,
You would.
we would make arrangements to do so. But as a rule, we're going to work Monday through Friday,
Mm,
and family time on the weekends.
right.
Whether it be, if take the kids to the golf course. My wife's not a big golfer, and she's just as comfortable to stay at home all weekend, which is okay too.
Mm-hmm.
But our family time is on the weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, and
7 days a week is no.
is hard. Yeah. Well, and I think
Yeah,
too, like people get into that whole conversation of how do you balance everything. And I always say, there is no balance. You have to make it work for what works for your family. Right.
right. That's
Yeah.
that's right. Because at the end of the day, family comes first,
Mm-hmm.
regardless.
Yeah.
The phone the phone can wait. That's the way I see it. If they're in that big a rush, they're not going to want me to do the job anyways because I focus on quality rather than quantity.
Right.
Um, and that's the way I will always run my business. And uh, I just feel that for me and my crew, I feel that's what's best for us.
Right. Well, and I think that's the best way to look at it, and that's how it should be. Because I think people that are
Hmm.
chasing, you're chasing that, it's quantity over quality. That's where you run into trouble.
Right.
If there's no quality
And
to what you're doing, what are the quantity's not going to come, or it might come for a while, but that's not going to work.
right.
Yeah.
Nothing against the fiberglass guys, but if they want quantity, they can shove a bat in the stud and move to the next one.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, that's a little pun intended there, but
Yeah.
um, and that's and touching on that subject, some contractors or customers ask, well, how long will you be here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll probably be here, 3 to 5 days. And on a big custom home, we might be there spraying 7 or 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
And some guys might think, are you serious? But like I said, we focus on quality rather than quantity.
Right.
And and uh, and when you tell a customer that and you see their reaction, well, I didn't know it would take that long. But then when they see you going the extra step to, cover their windows, cover their outside windows and porches because you know that it could possibly blow through. I mean, they see what all is involved
Right.
in spray foam in a house, and they, maybe they understand better. But but that goes back to the quality over quantity. I'm there to do a good job. I've had my fair share, and I'm sure I will, of overspray and having to deal with that. And I just don't like it. And Alex, I think Alex is watching. Had some blow through an eave,
Mm-hmm.
and it got on windows outside. And he spent a half a day. It might have been all day, scraping windows with a razor blade to not scratch the glass, but to get the foam off.
Right.
That's because we didn't take the time to prep outside, but we do now. I mean,
Yeah.
it's worth it to me
Yeah.
and my reputation in the industry because let's just face it, there's companies out there that are gonna pull up, go to
Mm-hmm.
spraying, and trying to get to the next one. So
Yeah. Well, that's just it. I mean, and I think too, when you take the time to do that, the homeowner sees that, and that's right. when you take that extra time to do that, you are showing them that you care about their home. You're not just going to start dragging stuff through their house and you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, yeah. Oh,
I
there's
think
Alex right
Alex
there.
said it was, yeah, it was, I would much rather spray than clean windows. Yeah, see, he remembers that all too well. And
Yeah.
it was cold outside too.
Oh boy.
It's, yeah, so, um, yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
I see Steve Jewell. I see his comment just popped up there. What's up, man?
Yeah.
You good, mate?
There's been a ton on there. So, and you've been to the last 2 conventions? Yes? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah. What was, oh, you're froze. Hang on. He's frozen, so maybe he's getting a call. He'll be back. Okay, you guys are asking a ton of questions too, and I haven't had a chance to look at them. There he is. Oh, he'll come back. There's Robert. Hey, Robert, how are you? I'm going to go back here through some of these comments.
Carla?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. My phone was ringing and it threw a wrench in the flywheel. I don't know what I missed, but
That's all good.
I was trying to
Good. Yeah, that happens. Those things like him having to clean the windows, those things stick with you and you remember that. So it's, you know, those are the lessons that we learn through trial and error. And you do better next time, hopefully. Yeah.
That's one of my hashtags. That's one of my hashtags now. Hashtag prep pays off. I mean, it
there
really
you go.
does.
That's right.
Yeah, my favorite hashtag that I've seen so far, and props to Rusty Schrader, is Gold Digger. GOAL.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Gold Digger. That's I like that. I'm not going to use it unless he tells me I can, but that's the best one. So yeah, prep pays off for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, fake it till you make it. We're not going to fake nothing. Being Monsman, I see you said fake it till we make it, but
I wanted to ask you about the conferences. So the SPFA, what would you say out of going to those were your biggest takeaways of attending?
The Spray Foam Worldwide Party, that was the bomb. Seriously, the first year I went down just for the Spray Foam Worldwide Party. We were busy, and it had already decided not to go because our son was having tubes put in. Got a call, and they moved that ahead to the following week, moved it up or back. So went down just for the Spray Foam Worldwide Party. I was anxious and pumped to meet all these guys. You know, they feel like family. You talk to them on the Spray Foam, on the group all the time, and you're like, when you meet them, you feel like you already know that individual. So loved every minute of that. And move ahead to Daytona. Learned a lot. Stayed the whole week. Obtained my master certification.
Okay.
In open sale and closed sale, and that was pretty cool. Again, the Spray Foam Worldwide Party, that's always going to be the highlight for me. Seeing these guys each and every year. We're looking forward to Pasadena.
Yeah.
We're going to make plans to be there, Lord willing. So that was my biggest takeaway was the knowledge that I learned. I always look to learn something. I don't ever want to feel like I know it all because, you know, I don't want to be egotistic. But if you think you know it all in this business and you're not willing to learn, then you might ought to consider doing something else. Just my opinion.
Yeah, like they say, if you think you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah, in the wrong room, right?
Yeah, you've got to always be open to learning something. Nobody knows it
Right.
all. So, and I think that's been proven a lot in that group too, because, you'll get some people who've been in the industry for a long time. It's like, oh, like there's something that somebody, there's always something. So, yeah, you can't,
Right.
nobody's the smartest guy in the
Hang,
room.
hang on one second,
Yeah.
please. Hang on.
Yeah.
What are y'all doing? All right. Well, y'all been in there long enough. Come on.
We won't keep you much longer, Josh. So you're going to be
No,
going.
no. That's fine.
No, it's all good.
I'm in no rush.
Yeah.
I'm in no rush. I promise.
Yeah, no, it's completely fine. I'm really happy that you decided to come on because I think it's super important we have a ton of people that are coming on that have been reaching out and asking to come on. So it's good that people get to
Go back in there.
they get to see you guys who are doing this day to day in and out, and they actually get to, like, now they know who you're, not just a name in spray foam worldwide. Now they've seen you and they've heard you, so it's important.
And I never would have dreamed that I would be doing this, but I was watching that video of Robert Vasquez.
Yeah.
He was, I've already forgot the title, but when he said, who would be good? And when he said my name, I was just like, are you serious? Out of 8,000 people in the group, he said my name.
Yeah.
But I love Robert. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
He actually gave us a ride from the airport in Daytona over to where we were staying, because we were staying in the same hotel there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
And when he said my name, I was like, how do you say no to something like that? I mean,
No pressure.
Yeah, no one would answer any question I have anymore or anything if I would have said, nah, I don't want to do it. I mean, they'd be like, who is this guy? Snub him. So, y'all go back in there now. Go. Go. Please go in there and watch TV. You already got to talk to her once.
We should have a kids version of Coffee with Carla.
Right,
We'll get
right.
The kids on.
It wouldn't close the door. Thank you. So yeah, I'm honored, and thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm
and
super happy you decided that you did come on with the pressure of that. And see, it wasn't so bad, was it? I told you it would be fine.
Oh no. I for all who's watching, I text Carla and I was like, I am nervous. I mean, to say, I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I mean, but it wasn't bad. She just said, be yourself, and
Yeah.
and it's that's who I've always been. And when y'all see me again in Pasadena, that's who you get. This is who you get.
Yeah.
The bearded guy from Mississippi. So.
And that's what I tell everybody. Everybody says that. They always say, "Oh, I'm so nervous." I'm like, it's all good. Somebody asked me, well, what is it like? Like, what is this going to look like? And I said, it looks like you and I FaceTiming, and there's people watching, but we can't see them. So it's all good.
You're right.
Yeah. So I think I've said this for 2 years that I'm gonna try and be there this year, because it's in California, or when it's coming up next in February. I want to be at that conference. So that is kind of my mission. I want to be there too. I want to come and see you guys in person, live and in person. So yes, I think it would be great.
You should definitely be there.
Yeah.
I think it would too. And it's because, I mean, like I said earlier, you feel like you know everybody. It's just one big family. And then when you get to, hey, I know who you are. And then Josh McCoy, you talk, and it's just, you feel like you know them. And you just like Justin Poole. I'm going to mention Justin Poole. He gets mentioned all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to take that guy on Facebook. He was all, how he is on Facebook. And I was like, this dude is, he is a real, he's a real asshole. And I said that, and I told him that at Daytona.
Yeah.
I said, dude, I did not know how to take you. I was like, but to meet him in person, he is the coolest, most humble guy that you're going to get. you're gonna and you get the same Justin Poole in real life as you get on social media.
Yeah.
And that's what you can expect with me and all these other guys that I've met and become friends of mine and my foamies, if you will.
Yeah.
But it's a great thing. I think what Spray Foam Worldwide is doing and has done for the industry is second to none.
Yeah.
I love it, and that's the only reason I'm still on social media other than my business page.
Right.
So
yeah, agreed. And I saw Cory Poping pop up about all the drinks I owe him. And Cory, yes, I do. And I guess I better get some more clients because I think that's going to be a big bill. That is going to be a big bill. And I better rest, I think, if that's the case. So I better get myself rested up for this conference, I think. But I know we've got a bunch of comments on here. We're going to have to go back and answer those afterwards or when we get some time. But yeah, and what you're saying about Justin.
Yeah, every time I swipe over and try to read them, it goes away. So I just give up.
We'll read them after.
I'll go back and read them. But
yeah.
I hadn't been working on my arm wrestling skills.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna arm wrestle at all, but I finally got up there, and when I beat the first guy, I was like, hey, this is pretty fun. Beat the second guy, beat the third guy, and then some big brute from, I don't remember where he was from. Me and him went back and forth, and he beat me, and I was like, good Lord. And then I tried to arm wrestle Ken, and I mean, there's no taking down the champion. But I want to talk smack, but then last night I seen his arms on the foosball table, and I was like, no, I'm not saying anything.
Right.
This dude is a beast. But
yes, but everybody's got to get in training to try and beat him. I don't know.
Yeah, he's the one, Steve Jewell. I love that guy too.
Yeah.
Keep doing those pull-ups, Steve.
Yeah.
Keep doing pull-ups. You get another shot at the belt for too long. And that was another thing that it's all, I don't know what I'm trying to say. That there's some people that get disgruntled on the page, and maybe you, just how you read it, you think that they're mad, but when everyone comes together, it was just a fun, good, clean fun. No fighting, nothing like that. Because, I mean, let's just face it, we're getting too old for that crap.
Yeah.
I guess I should go on and say it. And Cory will probably kick me in the butt for this, but I'm glad he didn't get a black eye this year.
Right.
I told him, I said, dude, I got you back. If you get a black eye, it's because I got one too. But
I remember the black eye.
No fighting this year. So that's he's never going to get to live it down.
No,
it hadn't been mentioned in a while, but thanks to me, everybody gets a good laugh out of that. So.
I remember seeing. I think it obviously must have been a picture, and I was like, "What the heck is happening in Alabama?" Like, is this the first night he's got a black eye? Like, oh my God.
Oh yeah. When I first met him, he had the black eye, and I was like, "Hey, this dude's done been in a brawl with somebody." Yeah. And then to learn the story, it become comical. So
I'm not even sure.
It's just an ongoing joke that.
I don't know the story, but I remember mentioning the black eye, going like, "Dude, like, I don't know. This sounds like rough. This is a rough place to be."
If he wants the story to be known, I'll let him do the storytelling.
Cory can
I'm always going to mention the black eye.
Cory can come on a coffee with Carla and tell us the story, because I'd like to know the story too. No, you will never live it down, Cory. Unfortunately, no. But all right.
That's another great guy. That dude. He's been in the industry a long time. And he knows his stuff. So
no, Cory is a great guy.
I poke fun at him. I poke fun at him about the black eye, but in all seriousness, he means business at the end
Yeah.
of the day, and they Tri-County foam insulation, they spray some beautiful foam.
Yeah.
So
No, Cory is a good guy, and I've had to unfortunately go through a situation somewhat with him that should never have happened, and
oh
it's
yeah.
something that I don't believe that I will ever like. It still makes me sick. But anyways,
Yeah, you don't want to scratch that scab. Don't even get into that.
no, no.
I don't
But
blame you.
I've talked to him a few times throughout that, and it's, he is a good guy. He's a very much a good guy. So, and I owe him a lot of drinks. So, but so
Might
I
as
guess
well
I better
just
get to California.
yep. I hope you do make plans for it. It's going to be another great show. The yeah, the giveaway this year's going to be just raise the bar each year. It's
Next
going to be
level
awesome.
again. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've been on here for an hour already, so I think we'll wrap it up.
It don't seem like it. Wow.
I know it goes by. It always goes by so fast. I always look at the time and go, "Holy smokes! Like, how can it be that long?" But thank you again for coming on, and
I appreciate you having me.
yeah, and thank you for letting your kids come on and say hi. We like that very much. So that's a first, actually.
You're
So
very
that's
welcome.
very cool that we got to see your kids. But yeah, so I mean, we'll go back and answer all the questions. You guys there's a ton on here. I don't know if they're all questions. There's probably a lot of comments, but we'll go back and answer them. So, but yeah, thank you so much, Josh. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Carla, and look forward to seeing you in California. And until then,
Yeah.
be safe, and we'll be seeing you around.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.